purpose of the spiritual path is not to become the I am that. The purpose of the spiritual path is not to bask in the glories of the gods in the heavens and the powers and forces and beings that reside there. The purpose of that is to prepare you, to remind you of where you're come from, which is already done. You're here to bring into existence something of those glories and magnificences and those truths into this dimension. Now, because this particular clarity and perception and opportunity to traverse the domains of the subtle worlds can only happen if there is a purpose greater than you. And it's always to prepare you to be a manifesting instrument and channel of that purpose. So the spiritual path is just to let you know at the level of your person what you're living for. It's to wake you up to a context greater than the one you've been conditioned by. It's to introduce you to the truths and the possibilities and the powers and the knowings that are not accessible to you in the normal human condition, so that it can be available to you to some extent, so it could be put to action, so it could be made real, so it could be lived and tested and grow strong through that testing. To give you a strength beyond yourself, to be riding on a current that would not be the one that your human, the trickle of your own human current, but the current of a force of becoming that always is available to humanity when the incarnation comes to earth. It awakens people if they like it or not. It forces circumstances. It creates unnecessary, seemingly traumas so that people can be meeting and be prepared for what it means to actually be an agency for that intervention, for that intervening force. Your life is your battlefield. It is the place where you make room for the truth of what you are, both within yourself and outside of yourself. Within yourself, the self-judgment, the revocation, the doubt, the guilt, the judgments, the ethics and moralities, the rules of behavior that you've made your own, the conditions of shame and depression and compulsions and addictions that you inherited from your parents or from your environment or from your generation. You have to break out of those. No matter how convincing they are, you have to find a place to stand other than where you stood before. Because you never had the power as an organized, integrated individual to actually choose. You were being run by gunas, run by wants, run by your repulsions, run by your attractions, run by your needs and your ideas and your beliefs and your idealisms, not knowing that you really weren't choosing. There was a being taken away with all these secondary currents. This is the current of life. It's a turbulent ocean moving all the time in all different directions. And the higher we aspire for, the higher we strive to bring into existence, then the more prepared we are. No doubt we cannot give up our sattva. We cannot give up our idealism. We cannot give up our beliefs that are proving to be true or not so true in the course of our life, because it gives the human in us a capacity to align with a higher possibility, which is very, very difficult to integrate and make real. This is not an ordinary spiritual path. I couldn't even call it a spiritual path. I call it a new paradigm for humanity, of which we become demonstrations of.